गुड मॉर्निंग स्टूडेंट्स। अभी आपका लाइव प्रोसेसेस का ये पार्ट 2 है, जिसमें फोटोसिंथेसिस के बारे में बताया जाएगा। एज यू नो दैट द ऑटोट्रोपिक मोड ऑफ न्यूट्रिशन which takes place in green plants is due to the process of photosynthesis taking place in green plants. So this is the main important biological activities taking place in green plants, that is photosynthesis. As its name indicate, photosynthesis, it is made up of two terms. So it is coined from a Greek word, that is photo and synthesis. Photo means light. As you know that this process takes place in presence of sunlight, so sunlight is essential for doing photosynthesis. And the meaning of synthesis, putting together is means simple inorganic compounds to convert into complex one, that is glucose molecules. So photosynthesis takes place in presence of sunlight. This is why that this process is called photosynthesis. Now some main points regarding this process. First of all, it is a biochemical reaction, biochemical process. It means it is a chemical reaction. During photosynthesis, chemical reaction is going on. Chemical reaction takes place, and as it takes place within the living things, so such type of chemical reaction is called biochemical process. Now, the synthesis of during this process, synthesis of food from synthesis of food from simple inorganic molecules, that is carbon dioxide and water, takes place. So here simple inorganic carbon dioxide and in water is inorganic molecules, and it is converted into complex one, that is glucose. Glucose is a complex molecule, so it is converted into complex molecule from simple inorganic molecules. It takes place in presence of sunlight, and chlorophyll is also essential. The next one is oxygen is released as a byproduct. It means during this biochemical process, oxygen is released as a byproduct. It means the process is involved for the synthesis of food, but during the synthesis of food, some useful product is also formed. This is why that it is called byproduct. If any chemical reaction takes place and during the reaction some another substances are formed which is very useful, that is called byproduct. So during photosynthesis, oxygen is released, and this oxygen is very helpful, very essential for the survival of all living things. This is why that oxygen is released, we can say it as a byproduct. Simple carbohydrate or sugar, that is glucose, is the main product from which other organic substances are formed. You must understand this point. Simple carbohydrate, it means during photosynthesis, the formation of glucose takes place. Glucose C6H12O6. It is simple sugar, monosaccharide, 1 unit of carbohydrate, C6H12O6, the simplest form of carbohydrate, that is glucose. So the formation of glucose takes place during photosynthesis, and this simple sugar is responsible for converting or helping in conversion of other organic substances inside the plants. So in plants, glucose is stored as a starch. So the storage form of carbohydrate within the plant is a starch. And here you know one thing, glycogen, the storage form in animals. In animals, carbohydrate is stored in the form of glycogen, whereas in plants, carbohydrate is stored as starch. So this is the basic difference between starch and glycogen. You must know. Question may be asked. Glycogen on the basis or multiple choice questions may be asked on the basis of this starch and glycogen type of carbohydrate. Now the basic process of photosynthesis. You know that site of photosynthesis, site leaf is the site. So leaf, it means generally photosynthesis. It is not essential that if the aerial part like a stem and other part having chlorophyll, the photosynthesis may take place at that part too. But the main site of photosynthesis is leaf, because the leaf contains large quantity of chlorophyll. So this is the basic process of photosynthesis. The diagram shows here it this is your sun and sunlight coming from the sun. Sunlight as a source of light energy. When this sunlight falls on the leaves contains chlorophyll, and this chlorophyll is able to trap the light energy, the photons of light, and this chlorophyll trap the light energy for the purpose of photosynthesis. So the first step is trapping of sunlight or receiving or absorption of sunlight from the sun falling on the leaves by the chlorophyll. So chlorophyll is present within the leaves in chloroplast. You have already studied about the chloroplast. Plastids is the cell organelle present within the plant cell. So chloroplast is the green pigment responsible or helping in photosynthesis. Now you know that for raw material, here I am writing the reaction or the equation: 6CO2 plus 6H2O, sunlight, chlorophyll, C6H12O6 plus 6O2, oxygen is released as a byproduct. This is the chemical reaction taking place during photosynthesis. So water is one of the component. So four components or four materials are needed. The one is carbon dioxide, the another is water, sunlight and chlorophyll. 1, 2, 3, 4. Four materials are needed, and these four materials, water from the roots absorbed by the roots from the soil, sent to the xylem tissues to the leaves. Carbon dioxide from air, it is absorbed through stomata. Pores in leaves allows CO2 to in, so stomata plays an important role in. Now CO2 and water combine to form glucose. This glucose is formed or synthesized within the leaves by the process of photosynthesis, and oxygen is released as a byproduct into the atmosphere. So oxygen is released in the atmosphere. Glucose, which is formed by the phloem tissue, sent to the different parts of the plant. This glucose is by phloem tissue sent to the different parts of the plant for their basic need, and in this way this is the basic process. Now the mechanism of photosynthesis. How photosynthesis? The photosynthesis consists of two completed into two steps. First is light reaction and the second is dark reaction. Light means light dependent reaction. This process is very essential as the assimilatory power is produced by the presence of light. So chlorophyll is able to trap sunlight, takes place in presence of sunlight. This is why that it is called light dependent reaction or light dependent steps. During this phase, photolysis of water takes place. Water molecules in presence of sunlight, it is converted into their product, that is hydrogen and oxygen. So photo means light, lysis means breakdown. Photolysis of water takes place, that is called light reaction. It produces assimilatory power. Then dark reaction. Dark reaction means it takes place in absence of sunlight. It doesn't mean that for the process of dark reaction always dark is essential, that is absence of sunlight is essential. No, it may take place in absence of sunlight. So it is light independent reaction. So, and the main point, that is the reduction of carbon dioxide to glucose takes place. So by the splitting of hydrogen into water into hydrogen and oxygen, this hydrogen is used for the reduction of carbon dioxide to glucose. So in this way conversion of carbon dioxide to glucose takes place and synthesis of food also takes place. You must know one thing, note, conversion of light energy to chemical energy takes place during photosynthesis. So in this way the process of photosynthesis takes place. Homework, home assignment: write 2 activities from NCERT book. 1. Chlorophyll is essential and CO2 is essential for photosynthesis. NCERT बुक में एक्टिविटी दिया हुआ है, एक्टिविटीज़ दिया हुआ है, आपको इस एक्टिविटीज़ को उसे नोट करना है और इसको रीड आउट करना है. थैंक यू.